This is the Transformers Studio Series from the movie Transformers 1. We have Starscream. I picked up this figure from Amazon. Let's get this guy out of packaging. And here is Starscream out of the box. And man, this figure, man, I am not liking this figure at all. I'm sorry. I don't think it's a horrible figure, but for one, there's a ton of craptastic plastic about it. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me saying that, but there's just a lot of crappy plastic on this one. Really cheap plastic that Hasbro could have done a better job with. I mean, the wings are fine. There's some parts that are really premium, but I'll talk about it later. But some of the parts, especially the red pieces, the blue pieces, they're really just cheap. The colors, though, I wish they could have made it more metallic, shinier. And finally, that head sculpt. That head sculpt really creeps me out. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 13.5 centimeters tall, or about 5 3/8 inches tall. For comparison, here he is with fellow Studio Series Transformers 1 Deluxe class of Bumblebee. Now, admittedly, he is much taller, which is great because that's how they scaled in the movie. And here he is with the Voyager class, or now Leader class, Coronation Starscream from the Dramatic Capture series by Takara Tomy. Obviously, it's a Voyager, so it'll be smaller, but you can see where the inspiration comes from. If you want a better comparison, here he is with a standard Deluxe class figure. We've got Devastation Optimus Prime. He is about a half centimeter shorter head to toe than that figure. So the figure comes with a couple of accessories. He's got this really weird ass gun. I don't know what to make of it. It's hollow. It's so useless. It's really a gun that he has for himself, and I guess more for alt mode. They didn't know where to place it. They turned it into a weapon. So yeah, same with this one. This one wasn't necessary at all. It's the tail fin blaster. It attaches here in alt mode. You can attach it like this in robot mode. It actually works as one of his weapons, like this. It's like a pistol. It's stupid. And get this, there is a Evo Fusion gimmick. It forms a bigger blaster pistol, and it's so cool. So useless. His weapons basically in the movie were the null rays, which are actually removable if you want to. I thought these null rays were actually pretty good. The figure itself, he does feel okay. He feels solid in hand. When you hold him, he's not too light. There are a lot of pieces like this, the legs, the feet that are very, very solid. But once you get to this, the red pieces and, well, to a certain extent, some of the gray pieces. The blue pieces look cheap, but when you hold them, they're actually very solid. It's the red pieces that are really driving me up the wall, and they're just cheap plastic. The beige, okay, they're okay. They're not soft or anything. They're pretty solid. The gray bits, yeah, they look premium, but once you start touching them, they're solid enough, but they feel light and cheap. One thing that really bugs me with this figure is this head sculpt. I don't know how accurate it is, but I think it's the lips and the eyes that are really bugging me the most. They shouldn't have sculpted those lips. They should have put just the line to delineate those lips. Maybe the eyes made him a little bit deeper. I think they're preparing to repaint him into Slipstream so that the head sculpt has a very androgynous look to it. And at the same time, you know, it can be a fembot, it can be a regular male seeker. I don't know if that was their intention, but it looks like it. It could totally pass for a Slipstream head sculpt, if you ask me, but that head sculpt is really creeping me out. I don't know why. It would have been nice if you had some metallic paint, Hasbro. I mean, would be too much to ask for some metallic paint? Despite not having a waist swivel, he does have a ton left. He's got some ball joints on the neck. The shoulders make the arms go up and down, forward, backward, 360. You got a bicep swivel, hinge elbow that bends more than 90 degrees, no wrists. Hips are on ball joints, can kick forward, backward, do the splits. Thigh swivel, hinge knees that bend more than 90 degrees because of transformation. He's got toe articulation because of transformation. So despite not having a waist swivel, you can still get him in some decent amount of poses and very dynamic looking poses, like he's like moving around. But one thing that is unforgivable is, look at this, no rocker tilts. How dare you, Hasbro? How dare you not put rocker ankles on your figures? That has been the staple and the standard for ankle articulation since what? The age of, not the War for Cybertron trilogy. How can you not put one on this figure? That is such a major crime, I think, for the design team. But he stands okay. He looks okay. It's just that I'm not getting the Starscream vibe. I'm not getting excited about this figure because it just feels bland. And that head sculpt is just really creeping me out. Okay, so let's transform Transformers 1 Starscream into his Tetra Jet Cybertronian Jet Mode Alt Mode. Now, on paper, I felt the transformation engineering should have been sound. It should have been fun, it should have been great, but execution-wise, as you will see later, it just wasn't as fun and it was pretty annoying, as I will show you. Okay, so what you want to do first is set the weapons off to the side, okay? And then let's just do some housekeeping. Just move these things. Just move them out of the way. All right, you might want to start with the wings. Go ahead and rotate them that way. The instructions tell you to just pop these things apart like that. Just pop this out. Okay, the head, that weird, creepy looking head is gonna pop out. Okay, and here's the most difficult part of the transformation, the chest. And the instructions tell you pop the head, pop the chest, pop the lower part of the fuselage, the front part of the nose cone, pop it, pop the canopy or the cockpit cover, and then somehow you're able to land the cockpit there, pop everything up, down, and form a sort of spear. It looks simple enough, but when you're actually doing it, it's not as simple as you might think. And then we'll talk about the other one later. So he says pop, pop, and then this one, you need to pop this, and you just, okay, pop these. Yeah, as I said, cheap plastic all around. And it's good. This is going to happen a lot of times. Okay, so I'm guessing you need to pop this piece right here. You need to just pop. Okay, sorry. Just, I guess you have to fold this out down so that you can pop this one out. Okay. And then you want to close that up. So they don't do a good job of showing that. They just assume that you'll figure it out. Okay, and then this lower section right here, I think you need to, yeah, okay. So it should close. Why is it not closing? Is it? Okay, just pop that in, and pop, just fold this in. Okay, all right. So if you can get there, great. Okay, all right. The neck or the head is going to rest here on the back side, and then the chest or the torso, the upper chest, his pecs are going to tab onto here, and then this one, this piece right here just somehow tabs in and fold, and then you form that spear. Okay, the instructions tell you next to fold and cover everything up, which I'm telling you now shouldn't be the next step. You should leave this thing open, but for the sake of following the instructions, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Okay, on to the legs. So the legs, you want to open that up. The reason you want to open that up is because you want to tab those, you see those peg holes right there? You want to tab them up his ass. Okay, so just fold it like that. And this really gives a lot of range of motion flexibility in his articulation for the legs because of the transformation. So you want to do the same on the other side and then tab the legs together. The instructions tell you to tab the legs together first, but I prefer to just do them one at a time. Okay, and then the heel spurs will form the rocket boosters, and they're going to tab onto his backpack. All right, and then the feet are going to fold up and close up everything. That's nice, very streamlined, it's very compact, compressed. hardly any kibble. And then these panels, they're going to lock everything in place. And then, okay, here's the other difficult part. So the instructions tell you that you should, at this point, you should fold up these panels right here. They're very difficult to fold out. If it's the first time you're doing it, they're going to be very tight. Okay, and as you can see right there, clearly I am following instructions. I've not folded anything, just folded those panels up. And they said you need to put the guns here. The null rays, this is where the null rays are anyway in robot mode, so you don't really have to remove the null rays, but just for the sake of transforming it so that they're out of the way. See, it says you can take them out so that they're out of the way, but you plug them this way in this section, and then there's this. It tells you to plug it here. That's what I'm seeing right there. See, look at those, look at that instruction panel right there. It says clearly you have to plug it here. It doesn't go anywhere. And what the instructions missed is you have to fold the shoulder pauldrons up. Then you can peg the null rays in their prone position. That's how they are pegged anyway, because they're like that in robot mode. So you can literally just keep them on there. Don't have to do that. And then this this sort of pistol blaster is going to peg here, like that. That's what they missed. See, clearly it's folded this way, and you got to fold it this way. Then you can start attaching the weapons, because the next step is, next step tells you to just collapse everything and fold that shoulder pauldron and combine the weapons and form the underbelly weapon cache of Starscream. So if you can, that's the way to do it. Don't follow the instructions, okay? And then the arms, they've got these they've got double pegs right there underneath his forearms. You're going to peg them onto the hinges of those calves, and that will solidify the underbelly or under chassis or whatever, under fuselage of Starscream's Tetrajet. Okay. All right, here's the semi-difficult part, okay? So we'll do this last, okay? So what you want to do is this bit right here, the wings, you want to just fold them down and tab them onto the chest. And they don't do a good job of staying there. They love to pop off. They don't, there's only one tab that's keeping them there, and you gotta just tab it flush, and it just loves to pop off. It is annoying. So if you're patient enough, it should be fine, okay? And then you just fold these wings like that. I like to keep them like horizontal. This way it looks like a Klingon bird of prey, but the official transformation is it's like 45 degrees bent like that. If you can keep them pegged in. So, yep, there is sort of like a ratchet hinge. So, yeah, the instructions tell you to just fold them all the way down like that. So, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, and then lastly, well, second to the last, the instructions tell you to just fold the shoulder blades, just fold them all the way back like that. Like magically they will tab in. And you see this piece right here, like I mentioned earlier, they ask you to tab it first before you do this, and it's never going to happen. You're going to just end up popping this hinge out. So what you need to do is you want to open this one up again, fold it, and you can see those pegs right there. They line up, and they will slot into those notches right there with this cover. So just tidying things up. Excuse me. Okay. And that's how you do it. You don't follow the instructions. So if I had my pocket knife, you will know what I'm going to do with this instructions, because it is clear as mud. Okay, and this last bit right here, the pistol, Evo Fusion pistol, just sticks on top. Doesn't really need to be removed, but they wanted it removable. Okay, so there you go. That was easy, right? Here is his sort of pseudo tetrajet Cybertronian stylized sort of War for Cybertron alt mode. It's tiny. It is small. Let me compare it with a Seeker mode. Here is Dirge, Legacy United Dirge. Obviously, it's a Voyager, but still, for a deluxe class figure, it is a Voyager. It feels like this is a leader class, and this is like a Legends class. And my go-to comparison for deluxe class figures, here is my Selects Legacy Hound. And as you can see, Hound is just way bigger in scale. Look at that. This thing is tiny. Isn't as playable? It feels like it's just a display piece. And so some final thoughts on this Transformers 1 Studio Series Starscream. Well, I'm sorry. I really did not enjoy this figure. On paper, it should have been a great figure. But I think Hasbro made the wrong decision of making it into a deluxe class. Hence, they've got all these clearance issues, much like what they've been having with Studio Series Bumblebee figures. Had they made this a Voyager class figure, a bigger scale would have probably required better plastic. The clearances would probably been a little bit easier to manage had this been in a bigger Voyager class scale. If you're just looking for a Starscream figure to put on your shelf, my suggestion is you just get the Blockies classic class version. It's a great display figure. It's probably about the same size as this one, just slightly smaller. So overall, maybe 7 is too generous. Maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Am I being too hard on this one? I do apologize for being too negative and complaining too much. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this Transformers Studio Series from the movie Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, welcome and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.